Welcome back to Legends with Derka, where today we're going to go over the new update making its way to Legends, coming up very soon. It is going to be the summer update and all about the American Independence Day, as it typically is. The campaign is going to feature two ships to choose from: Tier 7 destroyer USS Black and Tier 5 American aircraft carrier the Independence. That will be the highlights here. Today we're also going to go over Tier 8 preparation, some of the changes there, and some of the balance changes that I think you guys will be very excited for. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Alright, so the campaign for starters. Again, two ships to choose from. The USS Black is the first one I want to talk to you guys about. Let's go look at the PC wiki, and that will give us a lot of the information we need to know about this ship. On PC, Tier 9. For us, she's going to be a Tier 7. It's a Fletcher class destroyer. So that means a pretty great gunboat, 5 fast-firing 127mm guns, really floaty shells, but an awesome knife fighter at close range. Now, Black's special thing is that she has a surveillance radar, and on PC it is 7.5 kilometers. It will be the same on our version of the game, and the length of time the radar lasts remains to be seen. The other thing I would like to point out about Black is her torpedo damage. 21,600 alpha strikes, so they hit like a truck, but their speed stock is 43 knots, so they're very, very, very slow in the water. Is that the slowest torpedoes in the game? It could be now. So you're going to have a hard time hitting things with them, but when they do hit, they are going to hurt. The next ship, USS Independence. Historically, this was a real ship. However, I don't see her on the PC version of the game, so maybe this is a Legends exclusive, or perhaps it's just not on the PC wiki. But what do we know about her? She's built on a Cleveland-class light cruiser hull, so it's not a very big carrier, pretty small carrier. The other information that they give us about her is that she basically offers traditional American aircraft carrier experience. So what does that mean? Probably high survivability for the planes, good HE dive bombers, decent torpedo bombers, nothing like the German torpedo bombers though. So yes, there is that. Now the other thing it says is to be careful. Your ship has no defenses of her own, so I'm guessing no secondaries, and that's something that you would have to be considerate of, just like the USS Saipan. I believe she doesn't have any secondaries either. So the campaign, as always, I believe it's the best value in the game for 2,500 doubloons just to get the Admiralty backing. In 5 weeks, you can earn, well, I think what the most important thing you could earn are 4 insignias and 40 promotion orders just by getting the Admiralty backing. Now, like I mentioned earlier, at the end of the campaign, you will have your choice of the CV or the Black, USS Black. And you could buy the other one for 10,000 doubloons if you want both. So there is that. I can probably see 90% of the people already getting the USS Black. Carriers aren't that popular to begin with, and Black is going to be a very, very good destroyer. Very, very good destroyer. So yes. Moving on. There will be a special Bureau project. In the Bureau, the Broad Stripes and Bright Stars Limited project will reward you with gorgeous skins for Tier 7 cruisers Baltimore and Cleveland. They look something like this. Please make sure to finish it by July 25th. And there is a special note, words are important. So I think this project does have to get finished because it will be removed from the Bureau altogether. So I don't think you can just initiate it and then come back and finish it 2 years later. I'm pretty sure I still have the 4th of July mission from last year in my Bureau because I just started it and was never able to finish it. So yes, I think you're going to have to finish it and get it out of the way. And yeah. Now, also going on with the American ships, since we are doing all of this Independence Day stuff, are going to be Windrose bonuses that are actually going to be pretty darn good. The long and short of it, go load into AI, win your Tier 6 and Tier 7 premiums for a chance to get promotion orders, win the legendary ships for a chance for big crates, and just knock them out into AI real quick, and it is worth it. There will be discounts, a total of 12 over 3 weeks, with destroyer, cruiser, and battleship ones to choose from. So if you're looking for an American ship that you've had your eye on, USS Kidd, USS Boys, West Virginia, blah, 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 whatever you are considering, there will be store discounts there. So if you're in the market for a new ship, go check it out. This is the best time of the year to buy one of those. The full pan-European fleet is here for good, no more early access, and the Tier 7 Östergötland will be there and researchable, so I am curious to see how that goes. Personally, I've had the worst RNG with crates on this update that I have ever had. I would say that I've opened 40 or 50 or 60 crates, and I know there's a guaranteed system, but I still never got the Tier 5 or the Tier 6, so don't be prepared to see the Östergötland on this channel for a very, very long time. Go check it out on another CC's channel or someone else. Preparations for Tier 8. As you've probably heard by now, there is going to be a new ship tier coming to Legends. It is going to be a tech tree expansion. I have a couple videos on the subject if you want to go check it out, including some pretty accurate, it looks like, guesses on what those Tier 8 ships are going to be. So yes, the tech tree is going to be overhauled significantly. Worth pointing out here that they said in the patch notes, it's received some interface improvements in preparation for the new paradigm. And the premium tab has been removed for the foreseeable future, which I'm glad. It was pretty useless. It didn't have all the premium ships on it. I don't understand the purpose of it. After the first year that the game had been out, it was inaccurate and yada, yada, yada. Now, the economy changes that are worth pointing out, as things are going to shift a lot. So previously, Tier 6 and Tier 5 were the money-making tiers. Tier 7 had a significant reduction in the amount of credits you could get, as well as expensive costs to enter the battle. So service fees, they're going to be reduced about 10,000 for Tier 6 researchable ships. The cost of entering battle reduced from 136 to 122 for Tier 7s. And it's going to be reduced to 95,000 for premium ships. Now, there also, the credit bonus for Tier 7 premium ships is going to be increased from 15 to 55%. So this was a nerf put in place a long time ago for Tier 7 premium ships, really to keep it from being the main tier that everybody hovered at. The goal of it was to make people go back down to lower tiers to grind credits. Well, now that is going to go away, and Tier 6 and Tier 7 will be your credit earning tiers. They are going to be the money makers. Tier 8 will get that nerf, I am sure. So Tier 8 and Legendary Tier will continue to be expensive and not very lucrative to play out. And again, that is by design. More new ships of the update. The South Carolina was an American dreadnought. She featured 8 305mm guns. Slow and steady is what's used to describe her. Max speed on PC, 15.8 knots. Yikes. So I'm not going to win any races in that. She is obtainable with her dedicated flag through a free mission that is available for completion June 24th through July 25th, so go check that out. And if you earn her, it will help you grind through the Bureau missions if you want those Tier 7 Baltimore and Cleveland camouflages. Another new battleship for the Pan-Europeans, Erebus Unitus. At this moment, the first and only Pan-European battleship, she boasts a 12-gun broadside, and a new commander is here to helm her. Jenko Vukovic is obtainable in the store for 900,000 Commander XP, or from the all-new Pan-European Commander crates. So, that is interesting. What do we know about her? Well, pretty big broadside. She's a Tier 5 on PC. She's been out since 2019. Turret firing angles look to be pretty bad, kind of like the Grosser Kurfürst. If you're going to bring the full broadside into bear, you could get devastated, so be careful of that. Otherwise, she has good armor, decent rudder shift, tight turning circle. It could be a pretty fun Tier 4 battleship. Now, we do have some balance changes coming, and these might be what I'm most excited about in the game, as they improve the quality and the balance, for a lack of a better way to say it, and so I'm very excited about that. Tier 6 Premium Destroyer Kidd is getting the defensive AA Fire consumable added as an option for the 4th slot. So, that's great. I think it's already a great destroyer, just made better. Tier 6 Japanese battleship Nagato. Her main battery reload time decreased about 3 seconds, and she's getting an AP shell damage buff. So that will give her a big boost. That was not a very fun battleship to play, I have to say, so this should help a little bit. Tier 7 premium cruiser Azuma is getting a massive buff. Shell grouping 7.5%, 2 seconds off the reload. A huge buff to her HE and AP shell damage. AP penetration is going to increase by like 20%. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge buff for Azuma. I think she's going to be a bit of a powerhouse now, and I'm wondering if this might actually be too much, but we will find out. Now, earlier I pointed out that the Italian ships are going to be getting a lot of love, and that is why we have Zara playing in the background here. There's a lot going to be happening, starting with the Tier 7 premium battleship Roma. Roma is going to get an HE shell buff. She's going to get an exhaust smoke generator, just like her sister ship Vittorio Veneto. Damage control party is going to be a little better with its duration increasing 5 seconds. She gets another repair party consumable. So yeah, a lot. She's still not going to have the SAP secondaries, but Roma is going to be pretty powerful after this. The exhaust smoke generator consumable alone is huge. I'm very interested to go back and play her now. Now, the whole tech tree battleship line, Conte de Cavour, Andrea Doria, Vittorio Veneto, they are all getting 3 seconds dropped off their main battery reload time. So Veneto is going from 34 seconds to 31 seconds. So that's pretty big. I'll be excited to go back and see her again. She's pretty fun. I definitely think she needed that, especially with Roma getting a buff. Now, the other part that I'm very excited for, SAP main battery shells are finally coming, and they're coming to Italian cruisers as a test. An optional artillery module has been added to the following Italian cruisers: Tier 4 Genova, Tier 5 Duca d'Aosta, Tier 6 Abruzzi, and Tier 6 Grisia. It replaces HE shells with SAP shells, semi-armor piercing, and it's a free upgrade. Worth noting, on Abruzzi, it's going to increase the reload time, but the others will be the same. Very curious to see how this plays out, but talking to one of the community managers, the Genova, already we know that her armor penetration value is going to be 55 millimeters, and that is at Tier 4. I think these ships could be very powerful now with the SAP shells and be able to put up some serious damage numbers. Now, they want us to obviously go test them. If you have one of these ships, try the modules out, see how it does. And they have made it very obvious or very known that they retain the right to change these again, because they do expect the first iteration to overperform. So there were a couple bug fixes, but the only other thing that I really thought was important to point out to you guys was added visual improvements for water and weather for a grand total of 20 maps. Now, if you remember the racing game mode, the water was actually tested on that, and you might not remember it. Go back and watch someone's YouTube video on it. Yeah, the water textures looked a lot better, more highly detailed like the PC version of the game. And that is going to be coming to 20 maps in Legends, and I think it will improve the quality and the look of the game quite a bit. Well, guys, that is the quick and dirty of it, the rundown. Be sure to like the video, as I'd greatly appreciate it, and comment down below what you think of the update. Are you excited for the Black, the Independence, the South Carolina, or some of the new changes coming to the Italian Navy? I would love to hear from you, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.